Hello, everyone, and welcome back to McLean Stadium in East Lansing on the campus of Michigan State University. I'm Colton Wesley. Game 2 of our doubleheader between Lansing Catholic and DeWitt set to begin. We'll turn you over to the PA for starting lineups. We'll be right back with the first pitch. Lansing Catholic versus DeWitt, day 1 of the Capital Diamond Classic on OpenEndedMedia.com, presented by the Lansing Herald.
Now let's meet the teams for today's game. First, for the visitors, Lansing Catholic Central Cougars, coached by Dylan Roos, assistants Richard Roos. Also assisted by Dalton Roos. Steve Van Kirk. Billy Turbo. And Bo Idalski. And now, the non-starters for the Cougars, number 11, Ian Kerrigan. Number 12, Matthew Morse. Number 14, Jace Campbell. Number 16, Elijah Youngworth. Number 24, Anthony Edwards. Number 37, Watson Ferrari. And number 40, Connor Weber. And now your starting lineup for the Cougars from Lansing Catholic Central. Batting first, playing second base, number 18, Ethan Link. Batting second and pitching, number 15, Drew Tolfree. Batting third, playing right field, number 21, Alex Fernandez. Third baseman, batting fourth, number 1, Jack Grill. Designated hitter, number 10, Noah Youngworth. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 22, Lucas Payne. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 7, Levi Holman. First baseman, batting eighth, number 42, Jason Boldman. Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 4, Braden Rabidou. Playing left field, number 32, Anthony Branoff. Now for the home team. The Panthers from DeWitt. Head coach Alan Schenkel. Coach Schenkel is assisted by Paul Mills. Braden Taylor. Number 32, Sam Villarreal. Number 39, Cole Hagel. And number 88, Jack Villarreal. And now, the starting lineup for the DeWitt Panthers, defending champions. Batting first, the third baseman, number 9, Sam Leonard. Batting second, the shortstop, number 14, Jake Smith. Batting third, the second baseman, number 8, Trav Moore. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 11, Elliot Larner. Batting fifth, the pitcher, number 31, Joe Zubel. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 24, Joseph Bobita. Batting seventh, designated hitter, number 12, Lucas Brandell. Batting eighth, first baseman, number 10, Jacob Storfar. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 1, Abram Larner. And the catcher, number 5, Mitchell Araka. Also like to introduce the bat boy for the Panthers, Gregory. Ladies and gentlemen, before the first game, we performed the national anthem. We salute our military, of course. And now it's time to play ball.
Game 2 of the Capital Diamond Classic right now on OpenEndedMedia.com. I'm Colton Wesley. This tournament brought to you on on Open Ended Media by the Lansing Herald, lansingherald.com. Read all about it for free. So the Panthers are the home team designated for this game, so they will be in the field, which means Joe Zubal will take the bump. First 4-pitch guy, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. He will have his hands full with this potent Lansing Catholic lineup. The order for the Cougars: Ethan Link, Drew Tolfree, Alex Fernandez, Jack Grill, Noah Youngworth, Lucas Payne, Levi Holman, Jason Boldman, and Braden Rabidou. 400 hitters in this Cougars lineup. Some of the best hitting numbers as a team of any program in the area this year. It'll be up to Joe Zubal to try to keep them in check. Lansing Catholic in the light blue caps, black shirts, and gray pants. The DeWitt Panthers, white caps, blue shirts, white pants. Zubal getting his last warm-up pitches out of the way. 55 degrees, partly sunny skies as the sun begins to set behind third base here at McLean Stadium. Beautiful McLean Stadium on the campus of Michigan State University. One of the best places, not just in the area, but in the entire state to take in a ball game. The tree line beyond the outfield fence is a sight to behold, and as the evening wears on, it's just going to get more and more beautiful. Ethan Link will step in to face Zubal to lead things off for the Cougars. As Zubal delivers the first pitch outside ball one. First pitch at 7:41. 1-0 count to Link, and was talking with Dylan Roost, the manager beforehand. Swung through and missed for strike one by Link. He was talking about how the top half of his lineup is just full of great hitters. Link, Tollfree, Fernandez, Grill. Noah Youngworth is a .436 hitter. You got all these guys in the top half of this lineup who can just do so much damage. And he said they're going to be counting a lot on them, but especially Drew Tollfree. He's their starting pitcher, batting second tonight, currently in the on-deck circle. 2-1 to Ethan Link. Swung on a liner to second, right into the glove of Trav Moore. Nice play by Moore to retire Link. One away, and in steps Tollfree. Right-handed batter. A key piece for this Lansing Catholic squad if they want to make a run in the Diamond Classic this year. The pitch is right down the middle, fastball. Joe Zubal showing he's not afraid. Lansing Catholic, 2 Capital Diamond Classic titles in their history, 1986 and 2013. That one in on the outside corner, strike 2 looking to Tollfree. 14-5 this year, the Cougars. They've won 6 of their last 7. The pitch, grounder to second, taken on a hop, fumbled, throw to first, and he got him in time. Good work by Trav Moore to recover there. Gets it to Jake Scorfar. And the 4-3 ground out retires Tollfree. In steps Alex Fernandez, the lefty. 447 batting average, leads the team. First pitch. Check swing, did he go? He did, strike 1. The 0-1. That's down 1-1. Zubal deals. That's just outside 2-1. Outside and a little low. The 2-1. Fouled back. 2-2 to Fernandez. And Zubal would absolutely love to set down the top third of the Cougars' order, 1, 2, 3, to get this started. You're going to have to see this top half of the order at least 3 times. That one's fouled back. But Zubal has been throwing a lot of strikes. So many times in the Diamond Classic, you see guys, big stage, big field. They come in, maybe they're not throwing their best stuff. They're missing. That one just misses inside, 3-2. But Zubal throwing a lot of balls in the zone, forcing these Cougars batters to have to do something early in the count. This is a full count. Swing and a miss, got him. Picture perfect start for Joe Zubal. Nobody on for the Cougars. And the Panthers, top of the order coming up, Leonard Smith and more. Today's game is brought to you by the Lansing Herald, family-owned and independent out of Hazlitt. The Lansing Herald has been a staple of mid-Michigan news and sports coverage for the better part of a decade now. They publish their stories, scores, photos, and more throughout the week, and you can read all about it for free on lansingherald.com. Great coverage of high school sports, local politics. Glenn Dudasek, longtime supporter of the Capital Diamond Classic, longtime broadcaster of the Capital Diamond Classic. You've heard me on the Lansing Herald doing baseball, football, basketball, hockey. But with Glenn stepping out of the broadcasting space and just into the news journalism print scene, he has passed the torch to us over at Open-Ended Media. But the Lansing Herald still lives on as an online publication that you can read for free at lansingherald.com. No score here as we move to the bottom of the first. As we said, top of the order for the Panthers. Sam Leonard, Jake Smith, and Trav Moore due up. The rest of the order, Elliot Larner, Joe Zubal, the pitcher, Joseph Bobeda, Lucas Brandel, Jake Scorfar, and Abram Larner. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how Abram Larner performs tonight, given how little he's been able to play this year, out with injury for most of the year. Only 2 weeks removed from the IL. So limited action for him. But we'll see him at the bottom of the order. Leading off, it's Sam Leonard. Third baseman, righty. The pitch, fouls it back off the lefty Toll-Free. Toll-Free, right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. The 0-1, fouled away, and Leonard's in an early hole. First game of the day was a pitcher's duel between Holt and Charlotte. Rams won 1-0 off the strength of the performance of Mitchell DuBois. 8 strikeouts. We'll see if this game is at all similar, as that one's just outside for Toll-Free. Here's the 1-2. Fouled right down into the dirt. Took a little hop. Thought it might stay fair, but it does roll away off the catcher. And Leonard stays alive. Both of these teams, a lot of high average hitters, a lot of guys who can get on base and get around. So you would expect to see runs, but when Drew Toll-Free's throwing heat like that, it's real hard. That's a strike right down the middle, swung on and missed by Sam Leonard. Both of these pitchers are dialed in early. Jake Smith, the shortstop, will dig in, lefty. Toll-Free gets his signal, and he deals. Catches the outside corner, good pitch. Toll-Free, fastball, slider, changeup in his arsenal. The 0-1 to Smith. That one's outside, and credit to Levi Holman for trying to frame that, but umpire was not going to bite on that 1-1. Toll-Free, 0.47 ERA this season. The pitch, that's down and away. The heater misses 2-1. 64 strikeouts as well. Just an incredible season for Tollfree. 2-1 to Jake Smith. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Outfield is shaded to the left on Smith. So a pretty big gap in right center for a left-handed batter. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 down, both on 5-pitch strikeouts. Drew Tollfree looks extremely comfortable here on this Division I mound. Trav Moore, the lefty, leading hitter for this Panthers squad. Now it's his turn. See what he can do. The off-speed catches the bottom of the zone, strike one. We saw a pretty big strike zone in Game 1. Be interesting to see if that carries over here into Game 2. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. And Trav Moore's in an 0-2 hole. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Drew Tollfree strikes out the side. And these vaunted orders both go down in order in the first inning. Grill, Youngworth, Payne, due up for the Cougars. You're listening to the Capital Diamond Classic on openendedmedia.com. Could we have back-to-back pitchers duels in the Diamond Classic? We've watched 8 innings of baseball and we've seen 1 run scored so far. A lot of baseball yet to play in this one. Very similar innings from the 2 pitchers. Drew Tollfree, 13 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Joe Zubal, 14 pitches, just the 1 strikeout, but both leadoff orders go down 1, 2, 3. Jack Grill will lead things off for the Lansing Catholic Cougars, batting .438 this season, the third baseman wearing number 1. He'll be followed by Noah Youngworth, .436 hitter. As we mentioned, Lansing Catholic, 2-time Capital Diamond Classic winner, but they haven't done it in 12 years. So Dylan Roost, in his first year at the helm, would absolutely love to make some history with this Cougars squad. When we talked to him before the game, he talked about how his team wants to win every inning. They play a lot of small ball. They're fast, good contact hitters. They're going to find ways to get guys home. At least they're going to try. We're going to see what Joe Zubal has to say about that. That one is down and away from Jack Grill to open up the second inning. The 1-0. Grounder to the left side of the infield, deep in the hole from short. The throw is in time. Great play from Jake Smith to Jake Scorfar. 1 away. Got to have that range as a shortstop, especially when your third baseman's playing further in. You have to play a little further back on the dirt just to try to give yourself a better shot at it. And well-positioned Jake Smith was able to get over there, make the play, and deliver the strike to get Jack Grill out at first. Noah Youngworth steps in, watches ball 1, checks his swing, and he did go around 1-1. Chasing on the outside there. Nope, they're going to say, well, the umpire signaled a strike. The board now says 2-0. Now the umpire signaled a strike down here, so let's see what the umpire says the count is. The umpire says the count is 1-2, so I'm going to believe him. The pitch. Swung on, grounded on the third baseline into foul territory. The 1-2 to Youngworth. Swing and a miss. Both of these pitchers locked in here in this second inning. No hits for either side as Lucas Payne comes up for the Cougars, 2 away. First pitch. That one's in the dirt. That one didn't even reach the dirt. It hit the infield grass. Skipped away from everything, ball 1. Lucas Payne, the shortstop. The 1-0. Swung on high into foul territory over the lights that have just come on. And out of play. Dylan Roos was pretty candid when we talked before the game. He said pretty openly, yeah, like the top half of our order, those guys are the best hitters. And the job of the guys in the bottom half of the order is to, get down good bunts and, just advance them, bring them around. Strike to Payne on the outside part of the plate. So it'll be interesting to see what the bottom half of the order does here with no hits from the top half. Watches ball 2 just above the belt. DeWitt dug out, wanted it, didn't get it. The 2-2. Swung on, in play, deep in the left. Larner tracks it down, camps out under it, and makes the play. Once again, no hits. As both offenses struggle to get going here in their first appearance in the Capital Diamond Classic. Of course, for DeWitt, a lot of these guys have experience from last year's team that won the Classic. Some of these guys were on the 22 team that won it. 3 titles for Alan Schenkel, 2 in the last 3 years. 4 total for DeWitt. Mike Bry was the skipper. And they got it done the first time back in 2008. So DeWitt is no stranger to Capital Diamond Classic success, and they've had it quite recently, so a little surprising to see them not an auto bid to the quarterfinals. A 15-8 record for Alan Schenkel's club. So certainly not a bad season for them, but the committee has them playing here on Monday instead of getting the bye to either Tuesday or Thursday. Which, just want to remind everybody, we will have the quarterfinals and the semifinals and the finals in their entirety right here on this very webpage. So you can bookmark this and come right back to it. Tell your friends, go to openendedmedia.com and click on the big button that says Listen Live to the Capital Diamond Classic. And you can listen to every single game of the Classic right here, as Open-Ended Media makes its grand foray into the world of high school sports. We'll talk more about what Open-Ended Media has been up to and our plans for the future coming up a little bit later. But for now, we're about to dig into the bottom of this second inning. Elliot Larner, Joe Zubal, and Joseph Babeda, the lineup for the Panthers. See if they can be the first ones to get something off of Drew Tolfree. First pitch is down and in on Larner. Of course, you remember the Larner brothers from football season and basketball season, if you've been paying attention to area sports. So the best athletes in the area in this DeWitt lineup as Larner swings through that off-speed, strike 1. The 1-1 to Elliot Larner. That's down and in, 2-1. sun has dipped just enough so that there aren't any shadows on the field anymore. Not any that you can see anyway. It's all shadows, I suppose. Lights are on. Still plenty of light, though. 2-1. That one's a good pitch on the outside part of the plate. Just a fastball that finds the corner. Larner watches strike 2. Even count to Larner. Watches strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Swinging or not, Drew Tolfree is just striking them all out. He's got 4 strikeouts in 4 at-bats. Picture perfect. And relatively efficient strikeouts, too. Only 18 pitches to get 4 strikeouts. Throwing a lot of strikes, Drew Tolfree is right now. First pitch. That one's in there for strike 1 at the knees. Started outside, worked back inside, and froze Joe Zubal. Pitcher versus pitcher here. Righty versus righty, lefty versus righty as well. Swung on the outside part of the plate, missed strike 2, Zubal in an early hole. Keep forgetting Tolfree, right-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher. The 0-2. Got him on the inside corner. Drew Tolfree, 5 for 5. Joseph Pobeda, the center fielder. See if the lefty has a little more luck. First pitch. Off speed down Main Street for strike 1. The 0-1. That one's outside, 1-1. First time I ever saw Drew Tolfree was actually in a basketball game. And if my memory serves me correctly, it was the district final at the Don Johnson Fieldhouse for Lansing Catholic, and he chucked a 3/4 court prayer that almost went in at the buzzer for the Cougars in that final. They ended up losing by, I believe, 1, maybe 2 points, as that one's fouled away. So another multi-sport athlete in this Capital Diamond Classic. The 1-2 to Pobeda. Swing and a miss. What do you even say? 6 tries, 6 strikeouts for this Panthers offense. Drew Tolfree completely dialed in. We're through 2. No one's got a hit yet. The Robert Dowden Group of Keller Williams Realty spends a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is hot, complicated, and complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who is patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. That real estate agent is Mid-Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Dowding Group, or call them at 517-853-6390. That's 517-853-6390. We have been treated to some great pitching today, and it continues here in Game 2. Joe Zubal and Drew Tolfree both yet to give up their first base runners. They have faced the minimum through 2. Levi Holman, Jason Boldman, and Braden Rabideau due up for the Cougars, the bottom of their order here in this 3rd inning. Levi Holman, the catcher, wearing number 7, will step in, right-handed batter. First pitch. Swing and a miss at an off speed that dropped out of the zone. The 0-1. Check swing did not go. Ball 1. Holman not fooled by the low pitch that time. Even count. The pitch. Swung on into right. Is that going to get down? It will for a base hit, the first hit of the ball game. Levi Holman drops one in behind third base, and the Cougars have a base runner. Now, how early do you want to go to kind of a small ball game if you're either Lansing Catholic or DeWitt? You've got a base runner and no outs. We know that Dylan Roost is very comfortable setting down bunts and trying to just bring guys around with small ball. And Sam Leonard's playing all the way in on the grass over at third for Jason Boldman, who checks his swing. Did he go? They're appealing down to first, and he did go. Strike 1. So we'll see what the Cougars try to do here as they try to advance their first base runner. The 0-1 showing bunt. Runner going. The throw down to second. Not in time. He is safe. And Levi Holman takes second. Not surprising. Especially given that this Cougar squad does that regularly. That's not something they save for the end of games. They expect this bottom half of the order to try to manufacture some bases with stealing and good bunts. Let's see what Jason Boldman does here now, looking at an 0-2. Zubal looks back at second. Now he deals. Swing and a miss. So now Braden Rabideau, the center fielder, going to get his chance. And that steal, crucially, I think, at least in the mind of Dylan Roost, guarantees you, more or less, unless something goes horribly wrong, that you're going to get Ethan Link up to try to bring Holman home. That pitch outside for ball 1 to Rabideau. So just getting the runner to second takes the double play off. Puts you in a good position to have the top of your order have at least a chance with the base runner on. Fouled away down the third base line. 1-1 to Rabideau. So Link is in the on-deck circle. Rabideau would love to bring Holman home himself with a base hit here. 1-1. Swung on in the air. Right side of the infield into foul territory. Goes score far. He makes the play over at first. The defense for DeWitt tonight, Aaron Larner, Joseph Babeda, and Elliot Larner. The outfield, on the infield left to right, Sam Leonard, Jake Smith, Trav Moore, and Jake Scorfar, with Joe Scubal pitching to Mitchell Araka. 2 away here in this third inning. Ethan Link, the righty, will have his chance now. Runner on second. First pitch is high, ball 1. Link was out on a liner to second in the first, so he got good contact, just hit it right to the second baseman. That pitch is outside, ball 2. And Zuball's behind 2-0. The pitch. In the air to right. Camping out under it, Elliott Larner makes the grab, and the side is retired. Cougars got someone on, but couldn't bring him around. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score between Lansing Catholic and DeWitt here at the Capital Diamond Classic. I want to thank you all for joining us here on openendedmedia.com. It's a privilege to bring this amazing tournament to you. One of the best traditions in all of Mid-Michigan sports is this essentially city tournament. Get to see some of the best baseball teams in the area. Been a pretty good season for baseball here in Mid-Michigan. The Lansing Lugnuts, I believe, just a couple games back of the West Michigan Whitecaps in the Midwest League. Obviously, the Detroit Tigers, currently one of the best teams in baseball. So baseball fever catching on here in mid-Michigan as the weather starts to warm up and summer approaches. Memorial Day only about a week and a half away now. Only a week away, as it turns out. Gotten some glimpses of that summer heat. Hasn't stuck around, really. This whole week is supposed to be in the 50s, which means probably pretty good weather for the players. Maybe a little cold for, some of these parents, some of these fans, but all told, not bad at all. As long as the rain stays away, we should have ourselves a really nice week of Capital Diamond Classic baseball. And you can catch it all right here on openendedmedia.com. We'll be here for every single game, and we'll have the games archived as well later on. Off to the bottom of the third we go. Bottom of the order for the Panthers: Lucas Brendel, Jake Scorfar, and Abram Larner.
Number 12, the designated hitter, Lucas Brandel.
Brandel, the designated hitter, batting in the place of Mitchell Araka, his catcher. The pitch. Swings at the first pitch, strike one. Swung right through that. 6 batters, 6 strikeouts so far for Drew Tolfree, the 0-1. That one's in at the knees for strike 2. The 0-2. Fouled back. Brandel stays alive. The 0-2. Check swing, he went around. Seven batters, 7 strikeouts. In steps the lefty, Jake Scorfar, first baseman. First pitch. Outside, ball 1. You can hear the 2 dugouts reacting to every single pitch. That one's inside, 2-0. Tolfree's done a good job getting ahead in early counts. Let's see what he does. Chasing a 2-0 count. The pitch. Fouled back. Fastball. Scorfar couldn't get his hands around to it. 2-1 count. The pitch. That one's down, ball 3. First 3-ball count of the game for Drew Tolfree. Here it is. That's outside, and he's walked him. So Jake Scorfar becomes the first base runner. And for both of these teams, it was the bottom of the order that got someone aboard first. So in steps Abram Larner, and he's an interesting 9-hitter. Good player. 2 weeks removed from injury. He's not been able to play a whole lot of baseball this season. He shows bunt, sets it down, up to the mound. They're going to throw to first. They're going to get him. So Larner out on the sacrifice bunt. Pushes Scorfar to second. And the expectation now is that Sam Leonard, top of the order, can try to bring Scorfar home. So we'll see what Tolfree has in his bag here.
Third baseman, number 9, Sam Leonard.
First pitch to Leonard. That's outside, ball 1. Leonard struck out on 5 pitches in the first. The 1-0. Catches the inside corner. Leonard doesn't like it. Borderline pitch. Tolfree got the call. Kind of tailed inside at the last second. Umpire says it caught enough plate. 1-1. The pitch. In there for strike 2. I think Leonard was looking for a fastball. Laid off the off speed because he thought it was going to drop, and it didn't. One-two to Leonard. The pitch. Swing and a miss. So I guess a down inning for Tolfree. He only struck out 2 batters that time, but he's got 8 on the game. No hits for the Panthers and no runs for anybody. We are still scoreless here at the end of 3 with Tolfree, Fernandez, and Grill due up for the Cougars. Open-ended media is not just the platform upon which you are listening to this game tonight. Open-ended media is also the home of the best real estate media in Michigan. Photos, videos, 3D tours, floor plans, drone aerials, all of it, open-ended media does it, and they do it better than everybody else and at competitive rates. If you are a real estate agent who is looking for the perfect photos for your listing, if you are a homeowner who's looking to get into the market and you need good photos taken, contact us, openendedmedia.com, Caleb at Open-Ended Media. Caleb Lewis, owner and operator, he'll get you taken care of and make sure your home looks its best. Open-Ended Media, full-service media company here in mid-Michigan, doing everything that you could ask with a camera, taking care of all of your media needs. Check out openendedmedia.com for details. So we're into the top of the 4th now. Scoreboard looking pretty bare out there. Only one mark that isn't a 0. It's that one hit that Lansing Catholic got back in the 3rd. Levi Holman poked one into right, and that's the whole story right now. Joe Zubal and Drew Tolfree absolutely dealing for their respective clubs. First pitch is in there on Tolfree for strike 1 at the knees. Joe Zubal trying to give Tollfree a taste of his own medicine here. Tollfree 8 strikeouts. Zubal 3. That one's grounded to third, and it's a base hit for Tollfree. Tollfree thinking about going to 2, puts the brakes on as that one rolls into left, but a base hit. Only the second of the game for the Cougars. Drew Tollfree's like, yeah, I can hit 2. What of it? Sliced that one brilliantly down the third base line on a rope on the ground on a straight line parallel to the foul line. And now in comes Alex Fernandez, the lefty. Struck out in the first. He's got a runner on now. They're going to throw back to first and check on Tollfree. That was closer, I think, than Tollfree thought it was going to be. He is safe back at the bag. They got Leonard playing in on the grass at third in case Fernandez tries to set down a bunt, but that also means there's a lot of space behind him now. Pitch, and he will show the bunt. They're going to throw back down to first, and oh man, again, Tollfree danced a little farther away from the bag than you might expect. As Fernandez watched ball 2, pulled the bunt back. Or watched ball 1, rather, excuse me, pulled the bunt back in time. So 1-0 count to Fernandez. They're going to throw back to Tollfree again. And I don't believe there is a disengagement limit in high school, so they can keep checking on Drew Tollfree over there at first. The pitch, fouled straight back, 1-1. No score, top of the fourth. 1 on, nobody out for the Cougars. Alex Fernandez looking at a 1-1 pitch. The delivery outside, ball 2. You wonder how much having Drew Tollfree over there on first. I mean, they've already thrown over to him twice. The catcher threw to him on an outside pitch not that long ago. That one slapped to the right side of the infield, gloved at second. The throw to second, it's offline. Tollfree gonna run to third because there's nobody covering. Tollfree goes to third, slides in. The ball hits him. He's safe, and now the batter's going to second. Alex Fernandez saw the opening and took off as well, and now you got 2 in scoring position for the Cougars. Scored as a single for Fernandez. Tollfree took off to second. And I don't know if they're going to give the error to the throw or the catch on that initial throw down to second. But that should be an error. That's what allowed Tollfree to get to third. And then Fernandez just saw the open bag and took off. So 2 runners in scoring position for Jack Grill. First pitch, Grill watches strike 1 down the middle off speed. They have substituted on a courtesy runner. I'm trying to see who that is for Lansing Catholic. I believe that's Ian Kerrigan over there on third. And that one's going to get away from the catcher, and they're going to send him from third. The slide, he's in. Matthew Vorse, the pinch runner. The pitch bounced in. It got away from Araka. And Matthew Vorse is in to score. Fernandez to third. 1-1 to Jack Grill. Lansing Catholic benefiting from some mistakes. The pitch, that's inside, ball 1. Or ball 2, rather, excuse me. pair of hits, an error, and a wild pitch. That one's in on the corner. The throw down to third, and oh, they didn't get him. And everyone on the Lansing Catholic side thinks they did. Swing and a miss for Jack Grill. They immediately, Araka threw it down to Leonard to try to catch Fernandez at third. The throw was in time. The tag was not, in the opinion of the third base umpire. Just going to say that was close. That one's in the dirt, ball 3. That was as close as those plays come at third base. And now it's a full count to Jack Grill. Runner on third, no outs still. The pitch. Grill hits it high in the air, deep to left. Getting on his horse, Larner able to find it, camp out. They're going to tag up Fernandez at third, and he is going to score easily. The sac fly for Jack Grill will bring home a second run. And for Lansing Catholic, they have manufactured a pair of runs. First pitch to Noah Youngworth is hit into left center. That's down for a base hit. The top of the order. They went down in order at the beginning of this game, but they're putting in the work now, their second time around. Lucas Payne will step in, the righty. They're going to throw down the first, check on Youngworth. The pitch, foul back. Lansing Catholic have drawn first blood. Drew Tolfree got a single. Fernandez got a single. I think they're scoring Fernandez's single as reached on error, because I think they're arguing in the official scorebook. That pitch is outside. They're going to send the runner. He's going to go to second. Noah Youngworth on the wild pitch. Might be more accurate to call that one a passed ball. Mitchell Araka had a better chance at that one than the one he missed earlier. But in any case, runner is on second. Going back to the Fernandez play, I think they're going to argue that it should have been a fielder's choice, that the error was made, which allowed Fernandez to get on in the first place. 1-1. And that one's going to skip off Araka, and now they've got a runner on third. That's definitely a passed ball. It hit him on the shin pad. Zubal Araka, the battery struggling here. 3 pitches have gotten away from them this inning that have led to advancing base runners. Now it's a 2-1 count. 1 away. The pitch, that's outside. Ball 3 to Lucas Payne. Back-to-back passed balls sends Noah Youngworth from first to third. Once Fernandez reached second and Tolfree reached third, that ball's inside, ball 4. That's when this started. Drew Tolfree scored on a wild pitch. Fernandez came home on the sac fly, and now a wild pitch and 2 passed balls, and now a walk later, you're looking at runners at the corners, just 1 out. Joe Zubal is struggling with his control here in this 4th. DeWitt's going to try to stem the tide. Alan Schenkel coming out to have a little chat with his pitcher. No replacement for Zubal. Not that we expected one. It's the first mound visit. But now in steps Levi Holman with runners at the corners and one out. What's been a very weird inning for the DeWitt defense. But a chance for them to break this thing open. Holman showing bunt. They're going to send the runner down the second. And the shortstop came in to cut off the throw. Lucas Payne steals second. But Jake Smith stepped in front of the play at second base in case they were going to try to send Youngworth from third. And now they're going to intentionally walk Holman. So Holman goes to first. It's just gone from bad to worse to potentially nightmarish here. Jason Boldman digs in as the 8th man in the order with full bases. First pitch. Inside, ball 1. They do have a courtesy runner over on first for Holman, the catcher. Can't tell from up here who it is, and we haven't been told yet, but there is a courtesy runner on first for the Cougars. Their first courtesy runner came around to score. That was Matthew Vorse. The pitch. Watches strike 1 outside. One count to Boldman, 1 away, bases are loaded. The pitch, swung on and through the gap in the right side of the infield. 1 run will score, they'll hold up everybody else, but a base hit RBI for Jason Boldman. And the Cougars are opening it up here in the 4th. And now you got to worry about the top of the order coming up. 4 straight batters have reached. The pitch to Braden Rabideau is inside for ball 1. Fly out in the 3rd for Rabideau. He's back up here in the 4th because of the hit parade and the everything else parade. Been a rough inning for Joe Zubal in this DeWitt defense. Swung on into right. Going back to it, Elliot Larner. He's going to catch it. They're going to tag up and send the runner from 3rd, and they'll score another one. Lucas Payne is in. And Braden Rabideau will bring one in on the sac fly. Four runs have crossed for the Cougars in this 4th inning. They lead 4-0. And now the top of the order, Ethan Link, with runners on the corners, 2 outs. A pair of flyouts for him. They're going to send the runner at 2nd, and he's going to get in. And now they're going to throw down to 3rd, and they did not get him. Cougars tried to get aggressive. Boldman was going. He steals 2nd base. Araka fakes the throw, gets Holman, who's on 3rd, to kind of jump towards home, throws down to 3rd, gets the ball into Leonard in time. They're going to say he did not apply the tag before he got back. That's the 2nd time. There's been a very close play at 3rd. That one's fouled away. 0-2 now to Ethan Link. Panthers feel like they should already be out of this inning. But 2 in scoring position for Ethan Link. That one's down and away, and they're going to bring the runner as it gets away from the catcher again. And another passed ball plates another run. Levi Holman is in. Jason Boldman to 3rd. And the wheels have come off for the Panthers here in the fourth. The pitch, that's high, 2-2. The 2-2, in the air, foul. Zubal has lost his command of the strike zone in this fourth inning. And Mitchell LaRocca has let some get away from him that he will regret. Now it's a 2-2 count. Pitch. That's inside. No, they're going to call that strike 3. Ethan Link is incredulous. But in any case, my goodness, what an inning for Lansing Catholic after manufacturing almost nothing in the first 3 innings. They plate 5 on 3 hits. And a lot of that damage was done because of issues with the battery for DeWitt. You can obviously score them however you wish, but some combination of 4 wild pitches and passed balls in the fourth from a pitcher who had done so well the first 3 innings. That's the thing, is that this is kind of out of nowhere after what was a really strong first 3 innings for Zubal. For this to happen feels very sudden. And what was a pitcher's duel has now become, I don't want to say a blowout just yet, but the way that Drew Tolfrey's pitching, I'm not sure how DeWitt's going to manufacture 5 runs. They're going to have to figure something out here. They've only got 12 outs to do it. And Tolfrey's thrown 8 strikeouts in 3 innings. We'll see if maybe the long inning has maybe tightened up Tolfrey's arm at all, but I don't know, man. Well, DeWitt went from locked in on defense to all kinds of mistakes and allowing 5 runs in a matter of seconds, it seems. We'll see if Lansing Catholic can avoid suffering the same fate here in the bottom of the fourth as Tolfrey faces Jake Smith. First pitch. Lefty watches ball 1 low. That's also the nature of high school baseball, right? These are kids. They're not going to be as consistent or as polished as their older counterparts in the college game or in the minor leagues. That one catches the outside corner for strike 1. Nice little off speed there from Tolfrey. The 1-1. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Absolutely fooled Jake Smith into thinking that was in the zone. 1-2. Lansing Catholic leads 5-0 here in the bottom of the fourth after a wild series of events. And a comedy of errors for DeWitt as that one is sliced over the dugout. Foul. And Smith stays alive. Only ball in play against Tolfrey tonight was a sac bunt from Abram Larner in the third. 1-2 pitch to Smith, and Smith calls time. Tolfrey shakes off one sign, agrees to another. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Tried to get him to chase, but Smith was unfooled. The 2-2. Got him on the bottom part of the zone. Smith watched it, thought he was going to get the call. He did not. Strikeout number 9 for Drew Tolfree. In steps Trav Moore. Struck out in the first. First pitch. Swing and a miss at the off speed. He was sitting fastball. Tolfree only throws 3 pitches, but he has such command over those pitches. Fastball, slider, changeup. Got hitters going every which way. The 0-1, fastball right down the middle. The pitch that Moore wanted in the 0-0 count, he gets in the 0-1 count, but he was sitting on something different. And now he's down 0-2. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle again, strike 3. 3 pitches for Drew Tolfree is all he needed on that one. 10 Ks.
Number 11, the right fielder, Elliott Larner.
Stepping in now, Elliott Larner struck out looking back in the second. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1, off speed down the middle. Drew Tolfree is so far in his bag right now. The 0-1. That one's down and in, 1-1. The 1-1. Outside corner, strike 2 looking. The 1-2 to Elliott Larner. The pitch, way outside, ball 2. The 2-2. Fouled straight down. This is a remarkable scorecard to look down at. So clean. There's not much to write. 2-2 count now. Tolfree looking for one more strike. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Drew Tolfree is so far in his bag. He is manifesting French fries out of nothing. This man is doing things that should not be possible. 11 strikeouts in 4 innings. And the Cougars are rolling 5-0 going to the top of the 5th. The Lansing Herald is Mid-Michigan's family-owned and independent news and information source. Based out of Hazlitt, the Lansing Herald publishes their stories, scores, photos, and more throughout the week. Read all about it for free on lansingherald.com. The Lansing Herald, longtime supporter of the Capital Diamond Classic. Support free and independent media by reading the Lansing Herald, lansingherald.com. Check them out on their social media pages at Lansing Herald. I'm sure that we'll be hearing from Glenn at some point over these next few days. I'm sure he'll stop by and say hi here in the broadcast booth. The Lansing Herald has been a staple of Mid-Michigan high school sports coverage for years. Local politics. And you can check out that coverage, some of the best in the area, at lansingherald.com. Moving into the 5th inning, Joe Zubal remains in the game for the Panthers. A rough inning that wasn't really all his fault. Some passed balls, at least one error, and a couple of timely hits, and you're looking at a 5-run game now here as the 5th inning begins. But you got to start here, and it starts with the same batter as you faced to lead off the 4th, Drew Tollfree. He led things off with a base hit to get the party started. He's 1 for 2. The pitch. Tollfree watches ball 1 high. The 1-0. That's in there. Strike 1, good pitch. The off-speed freezing Tollfree at the bottom of the zone. The 1-1. High in the air to short. Jake Smith camps out under it and makes the catch. Alex Fernandez, 0 for 1, technically reached on error in the 4th. First pitch to the lefty is in on the outside corner. 0-1, as more lights come on here at McLean Stadium, the 0-1. That one outside. Zubal hit that corner with an off-speed in the first pitch, tried to find the same place with the fastball in the second pitch, didn't get the call that time. That one's down and skips away from the catcher for ball 2. Fernandez steps back into the box, 2-1. Flared out foul. The 2-2. That one's down for ball 3 and skips between the legs of Araka. Pitcher and catcher just not on the same page with some of these pitches. It's about the 7th, maybe 8th ball that's gotten away from Araka. Full count. Hit through the gap on the left side of the infield, in for a base hit, Fernandez. Jack Grill, ground out in the 2nd, RBI sac fly in the 4th. First pitch, outside, ball 1. If you're the Panthers, this is one of those times when you got to stay the course. It can be hard when you're losing in a game like this. That one tipped back into the glove for strike 1. It can be hard to stick it out. But all it takes is a couple hits, one mistake, and you're right back in this ball game. But if you want to have a chance to get back into this ball game, you've got to stay locked in defensively. That's a ball outside, 2-1 to Grill. The pitch, hit into right, turning on it, Elliot Larner. He's able to get back to it and make the play. And Fernandez will go back to first, F9 in the book. And out number 2, Noah Youngworth. 1 for 2. Strikeout and a base hit. Came around to score back in the 4th. The pitch. Foul tick, strike 1. Fernandez still on first. They haven't checked on him yet. They were doing that a lot earlier, but now Zubal seems a lot more focused on the hitter. That one's popped straight up in front of the plate. Zubal coming up to it and makes the grab. So a much better inning for the Panthers that time. Still got to find the bats, though. 5-0. Going to the bottom of the 5th. Zubal, Bobeda, Brandall due up.
Be sure to return any foul balls that land near you to the nearest dugout. We would appreciate your cooperation with that.
Reminder that we will be back here tomorrow night for that doubleheader. Mason, Portland. And then in the nightcap, Portland St. Patrick versus Grand Ledge. How about that matchup? Undefeated Portland St. Pat's versus 29-time Capital Diamond Classic champion Grand Ledge. That one has some high drama baked right into it. So be sure to join us for that. We've had some day here at the Diamond Classic so far. We had a pitcher's duel in Game 1, broken window off a foul ball about 6 feet from where I'm sitting right now. Drew Tollfree putting on an absolute clinic. It's always good baseball here at the Diamond Classic. Always something to pay attention to. One thing in particular that some people might be paying attention to that I'm not going to mention out loud because I'm not trying to get into trouble. Bottom 5 coming up. Zubal, Bobeda, Brandell. Drew Tollfree. 54 pitches in 4 innings, 11 strikeouts. In 13 batters. That's almost unfathomable. That's the kind of thing that might happen if you're playing a cupcake. You're playing against DeWitt. And you're dialed in like this. First pitch to Zubal. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That time it's a fastball, just threw it right by him. The 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2. Zubal struck out looking back in the 2nd. The 0-2. That's inside, ball 1. The lefty deals the 1-2. Foul tick, but he couldn't hold it. So it's just a regular foul ball. If Holman had been able to hold on to that, probably would have just been a foul back into the glove. But as is, it's a regular foul ball, and Zubal stays alive. The 1-2 again. That's inside. Did that catch Zubal? It did not. Ball 2. Zubal skipping out of the way of it. Tollfree 1 strike away from his 12th strikeout of the game. He will step off the rubber. The 2-2. In the air, right side, in foul territory. Boldman gloves it. I don't know, maybe Drew Tollfree will be disappointed that wasn't a strikeout, but in any case, it is another batter retired. Joseph Bobita struck out in the second. The pitch. Framed perfectly by Holman. It was right on the outside corner, but he brings it in and gets the call. 0-1. Pitch to the lefty. Grounder, right side of the infield. Picked up at second to throw to first. They got him. That is the first ball other than a sacrifice bunt hit into fair territory against Drew Tollfree in this game. 2 away. In steps Lucas Brandel, designated hitter wearing number 12. Right-hander struck out back in the third. The pitch. That's down for ball 1. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Infield playing straight up, outfield fading to the right a little bit. The 1-1 on the outside part of the plate. Watching strike 2, Brandel. Tollfree mixing up his pitches brilliantly. A lot of strikes looking today. The 1-2, way outside, 2-2. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 12 for Drew Tollfree. Ringing them up one at a time. We go to the 6th. 5-0 Lansing Catholic. The Robert Dowden Group spends a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is hot, complicated, and complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who is patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. The real estate agent is Mid-Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Dowding Group, or call them at 517-853-6390. That's 517-853-6390. Winner of this game will take on Williamston on Thursday. Hornets have had themselves a solid season. Like I said at the outset, a little surprising to see DeWitt in the first round of the Diamond Classic. It's pretty normal for them to bypass day 1 of the tournament, but here they are, and they're on the ropes to boot. Lucas Payne, Levi Holman, Jason Boldman due up for the Cougars as they try to pad this lead a little bit. Pitch. Swung on and missed on the inside corner. Strike 1 to Lucas Payne. The 0-1. That's down 1-1. The 1-1 from Zubal. Grounded, left side of the infield, hops into the glove of Leonard. Throw across, they got him. Good play by Leonard to stick with that. It skipped off the infield grass over his head, reached the glove up there and made the stop. Poked it up into the air, grabbed it, settled, threw it across, got the play. Leonard locked in at the hot corner, and it's 1 out. Levi Holman has reached twice. He grounds that one away, foul. Got a hit in the third, got hit in the fourth. First base coach for Lansing Catholic, trying to get that Lansing Catholic supporter section a little more amped up over there. That one's grounded to second, and the throw to first easily in time because Holman stumbled as he hit that. He kind of caught that one on his fists almost, on the handle of the bat. And he slipped as he made contact, so it was a pretty easy play for Trav Moore to make to Jake Scorfar. Jason Boldman watches strike one. Struck out in the third. RBI single in the fourth. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. The 1-1. That one is grounded foul first and then fair. It hit in foul territory, then skipped into the infield. So 1-2 to Jason Boldman. The pitch high in the air to center, and standing right under the Spartan logo is Joseph Babita, and he makes the easy play. And that will retire the side. Bottom of the sixth coming up. Lansing Catholic 5, DeWitt 0. You're listening to the Capital Diamond Classic here on OpenEndedMedia.com. And Drew Tollfree has been the story. He has faced 16 batters in 5 innings. And he has struck out 12 of them. A walk in the third, and that was it. Jake Scorfar, Abram Larner, Sam Leonard. Due up for DeWitt as they try to break this stranglehold that Tollfree's had on this game. Beautiful pink-purple skies over and right. Above that lush green tree line. One of the most beautiful vistas in all of Mid-Michigan sports is the Capital Diamond Classic. As Tollfree takes his last warm-up pitch. We get ready to get the bottom of the sixth underway. Lansing Catholic Cougars 6 outs away from a date with Williamston Hornets on Thursday. And they are not 6 outs away from any other notable accomplishments. None at all. The lefty Jake Scorfar digs in. First pitch. Watches strike one at the knees. The 0-1 to Scorfar. Swung at one way outside. Had a ton of movement on it. Scorfar walked in the third. The only base runner for the Panthers so far here in the bottom of the sixth. The 0-2. Watches ball one. That might have been in there, but umpire does not give it to Tollfree. Abram Larner in the on-deck circle. The 1-2. That's way away, ball two, in the dirt and out of play. Tollfree just kind of over-rotated on that one, overthrew it. Now it's a 2-2 count. The 2-2. Swung on and fouled out of play. Loud clang as it hits these metal bleachers. You can hear the Lansing Catholic, I want to say that's the Lansing Catholic student section down behind the Lansing Catholic dugout along the first base side. They're barking. Not sure what that's about, but 2-2, that one's away, ball three. So an 0-2 count has been worked into a full count by Jake Scorfar. The payoff. Fouled away. Scorfar stays alive. This is the best fight that Tollfree's had the entire night. The first full count of the night for Tollfree. And now, I think Tollfree Dylan Roost has come out of the dugout, and Tollfree looks incredulous. Is he taking the ball away from Tollfree? I believe he is. Tollfree is going to have a seat. Tollfree frustrated to come out of the game, but an impossibly good performance. 12 strikeouts in 5+. Has only given up one base runner, and it was a walk. So a curious decision here as Elijah Youngworth checks into the game. Man, Tollfree has been absolutely dealing. And I think this might be a future of the classic kind of decision here from Dylan Roost. He might be thinking, hey, maybe if we, don't leave him out here for these last two innings, when it looks like he might be starting to tire a little bit, maybe we can get him again later on in the Classic. We have a 5-0 lead. We have a bit of a cushion here. Maybe we can save his arm and maybe have him back, maybe not on Thursday, but if we win and go to the semifinals. That might be the calculus for Dylan Roost, but definitely an interesting decision. Also, to make the substitution mid-at-bat, you do not see that. That is extremely rare, especially in a full count situation, because now Elijah Youngworth comes into this game, and he's going to have to throw a strike immediately to try to set down Jake Scorfar. He doesn't get a few pitches to kind of feel out the hitter at all. He just has to come in here and be like, all right, throw your best pitch and just try to get him out. So the 8th pitch of the at-bat will be thrown by a different pitcher. Elijah Youngworth into the game. Full count for score far. The pitch. Got him on the outside corner looking. So the decision pays off, at least in the short term, as Elijah Youngworth picks up the strikeout. In steps Abram Larner. Sack bunt in the 3rd, lines that one foul down the first baseline. Five outs remain for the Cougars. The 0-1 to Austin Larner. Or Abram Larner, excuse me. I don't know why I said Austin. He fouls that one away. Been a long day. The 0-2. Pitch. That's way outside ball 1. Kind of yanked that one well wide of the strike zone. 1-2 count now. Bottom 6. 5-0 Lansing Catholic. The DeWitt faithful trying to make some noise. That pitch is down for ball 2. The 2-2 to Larner. The righty deals. That one's outside for ball 3. The infield thought it was strike 3. The umpire does not agree. Full count to Larner. This time Youngworth's thrown every pitch of this full count. The pitch, it's down for ball 4. And the Cougars have surrendered only their second base runner of the game. So in checks Sam Leonard, top of the order. Back-to-back strikeouts for him so far. And the righty will face Youngworth for the first time. 1 out, 1 on for the Panthers. First pitch. Catches the outside corner, strike 1. The 0-1, runner goes, and that one gets away. Runner takes second, runner going to third because they're trying to dig that ball out, and he's into third. So Larner's going to get second on the stolen base, third on the wild pitch. Now it's a 1-1 count to Leonard. Panthers looking for their first run of the ball game. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. The 1-2, fouled away. Leonard keeps the at-bat alive. As the evening wears on and the sun has set now to our left. The 1-2. In the air. Right fielder comes up to it, makes the play. Elliot Larner, and the runner will not advance. They throw it down to the catcher, but it doesn't matter. He wasn't going. Excuse me, Alex Fernandez with the catch.
Shortstop, number 14, Jake Smith.
2 away. Runner on third, Jake Smith, the lefty. 2 strikeouts so far. First pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The 0-1. That one's down, 1-1 count to Smith. Abram Larner, 2 weeks removed from injury, standing on third, representing DeWitt's first run of the game. If they can bring him home, that's a great pitch that goads the swing on the outside corner from Jake Smith. Youngworth all but threw himself off the mound with that delivery. The off speed just outside of the plate. That one ripped inside. It gets away from the catcher, and the run's going to score. So Abram Larner comes around to score. 2-2 count now to Jake Smith. Got on a walk, stole second, and 2 different wild pitches sent him to third and home. 2-2 count to Smith. Swung on into left. It is foul. Youngworth giving up some contact here. Nothing between the lines yet. Two count incoming. The pitch to the lefty. Swing foul. The 2-2 again. Nobody on, 2 out. The pitch. Fouled straight back. Jake Smith making Youngworth work for this one. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. The pitch. That's way outside, full count. The payoff to Jake Smith. The pitch. Down, ball 4. The 9-pitch at-bat is won by Jake Smith. And now in steps Trav Moore. Leads the Panthers in hits this year. 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. First pitch, outside, ball 1. The 1-0, that one's outside again, 2-0. Jake Smith taking a relatively small lead off of first, but then making a big jump as soon as Youngworth goes into his motion. That one swung on and missed, strike 1. That one was above the zone, and Moore still swung at it. 2-1 count. Youngworth came in. That one catches the outside corner for strike 2. Youngworth came in on a full count to strike out Jake Scorfar. Now the 2-2 is outside. One run has scored, although not through traditional means. Now he's got a full count on Trav Moore with 2 outs. The runner goes. Pitch. It's outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And now the tying run is on deck for the DeWitt Panthers. Elliot Larner, one of their best hitters, 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, but he's coming up now. And out comes Dylan Roost to have a conversation with his pitcher. Lansing Catholic leading DeWitt. Drew Tolfree was taken out of this game after 5+ with 12 2/3 strikeouts. Elliot Larner steps in, runner on first, runner on second. Youngworth trying to get out of this. First pitch in the air, right side behind third. Boldman in foul territory makes the grab. Sigh of relief from the Cougars, somehow, some way. They got 3 outs left, leading 5-1. Today's game is brought to you on OpenEndedMedia.com, and Open Ended Media is your local full-service media company. Anything that you need a camera for, we can do it. Photography for events and gatherings, weddings, senior photos, anything you want a drone to take pictures of. That's something that Open Ended Media can do, in addition to being a full broadcast production house. We are the official broadcast production partners of Michigan State Women's Hockey, just down the way at Munn Ice Arena, the Detroit Mechanics Ultimate Frisbee Team, and Red Cedar FC, in addition to being your radio home for the Capital Diamond Classic. So if you need a radio call or a TV broadcast of your event, let us know. Caleb at OpenEndedMedia.com. Go to OpenEndedMedia.com to learn more. We got 1 inning left of this ball game. Lansing Catholic leading 5-1. New pitcher in the game for DeWitt. Sam Leonard. Was playing third, and it looks like he's just going to straight up switch places with Zubal. So Zubal moves to third, and Sam Leonard will step in to try to keep this thing as close as possible. Due up for Lansing Catholic, Braden Rabideau, Ethan Link, and Drew Tolfree. First pitch, way outside, ball 1. The 1-0, slapped into left center. That's going to get down for a base hit, maybe more. rounding first into second. It's all the way into the gap, rolling to the warning track. It's a double for Braden Rabideau. That's a great hit for your 9-hitter. Now the top of the order coming up with something to work with. So in steps Ethan Link. 0 for 3 today, 2 flyouts and a strikeout. Would love a hit here that could add to his team's advantage. The 1-0. Way outside, ball 2. Temperatures dropping here in East Lansing into the lower 50s as the sun has gone down. The pitch slapped right back up the middle, stopped at the mound, going to throw to first and get the out there. Was thinking about throwing to third, Sam Leonard, but decided not to. Would have probably, had he done so, caught Rabideau in a rundown. Rabideau took off on contact with that ball. He thought it was going to get through, but Leonard did stop it. And he looked over at third base and decided against it, despite the fact that Rabideau was literally in between second and third, and put the brakes on, too, to try to run back to second. If they'd thrown it over there, they might have had him caught in a rundown, but as it is, they threw to first instead and got the definite force out. First pitch to Drew Tolfree. Gonna go for ball 1. Way inside. Tolfree had to duck out of the way. 1-0. The pitch. Tolfree watches ball 2 outside. Tolfree's done some damage at the plate as well. Got a base hit and came around to score in the 4th. 1 for 3 on the day. The 2-0. That's down for ball 3. The pitch. And he just watches ball 4 high. He wasn't even gonna swing it. He just flips his bat away. He stood there. He was not interested in that pitch. From the time Leonard was in the stretch. And it's a free base for Tolfree on 4 pitches. Here comes Alex Fernandez, the lefty, with runners at the corners. The pitch. Down for ball 1. The 1-0, slap down the right side of the infield, gloved at second. To throw to first is not in time. A base hit for Alex Fernandez. Tolfree to second. Rabideau comes around to score. Alex Fernandez gets the RBI single to pad the advantage. It's 6-1. Jack Grill stepping in. 0 for 3, but had an RBI sac fly in the 4th. Runners on first and second for him. The pitch. Sends it up the middle, fielded it short, throw to second, get 1, down to first, they got 2. Double play. The classic 6-4-3 ends the inning. And let's just see what the bottom of the 7th brings. 6-1 Lansing Catholic, but still plenty to pay attention to. Don't go away. You're listening to the Capital Diamond Classic on OpenEndedMedia.com. One run on 2 hits. Zubal, Bobita, Brandell due up for Lansing Catholic. To face in the bottom of the 7th. Want to thank our sponsors one more time. This broadcast is presented by the Lansing Herald, lansingherald.com. Also want to thank the Robert Dowden Group of Keller Williams Realty for their support in making this broadcast possible. Joe Zubal, Joseph Bobita, and Lucas Brandell. They are the batters for Lansing Catholic. 6-1 is the score. There's another number on that scoreboard that's drawing a lot of attention right now. First pitch to Zubal. Ball 1. Remember, Drew Tolfree, the starter, was subbed out after 5+ on a full count. The pitch sent down the line at third. It is in play, and that's going to break up the no-hitter. Hit down the third baseline, sharply, stayed fair. Jack Grill came up to it, couldn't handle it. Tried to get it across, but he couldn't hold it. And now everyone's going to kind of watch that scoreboard to see if theoretically that could be an error. They haven't put anything on the board for it yet. The pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Still no update to the board, though. Pitch again. That's outside. 1-1. Sam Leonard's on first, but the scoreboard is not indicating how he got there yet. The pitch. Swing and a miss. As of right now, Lansing Catholic hasn't conceded a hit yet. 1-2. The pitch. Up the middle. Gloved at short. Stepping on the bag. Throw to first. They got him. It's a double play. And that scoreboard has no hits on it. They didn't put an error up either. They were putting errors up in game 1. They have not put an error up for that yet here. But I think they're going to call that an error, which means that if Trav Moore is out, Lansing Catholic will have a no-hitter. First pitch, ball 1. Inside, and he hit him. Moore is on first. Yeah, they didn't put the error on the board for DeWitt earlier when they committed an error back in the 4th. They were putting errors on the board in game 1, which is why I expected they would here, but they haven't yet. The scoreboard reads 1 run, no hits, no errors. The pitch. Check swing to Elliot Larner. Ball 1. Runner on first. The 1-0. Down and away, ball 2. Elijah Youngworth trying to finish the job that Drew Tolfree started. 5 innings, 12 strikeouts. Youngworth came in on a full count to finish a strikeout. Gave up a run but no hits in the 6th. Now they're 1 out away. The 2-0. The pitch inside. It plunks off the catcher. No, it did catch Elliot Larner. And he's going to go to first for free. So back-to-back hit by pitches. Well, nobody said it had to be pretty to count. A lot of batters have reached base in the last couple innings for the Panthers, but crucially, still a 0. And that second number on the scoreboard. 2 on for Joe Zubal. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. (6-1) the score. Runners on first and second. 2 away, bottom of the 7th. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. The Cougars are 1 strike away from history. The pitch in the air, foul territory, and that's out of play. The 0-2 to Zubal from Elijah Youngworth. The pitch. Grounded on the ground into left. It's a base hit, and that will end the no-hitter. DeWitt down to their last strike will finally get a hit. And now the bases are loaded for Joseph Bobita. The Cougars needed 1 more strike to get a no-hitter at the Capital Diamond Classic. They're going to come up just a little short, and Elijah Youngworth is going to be subbed out. He's going to get a round of applause. Let's see, who are they putting in? Looks like it's going to be Connor Weber who is charged with finishing out this ball game. My goodness. The Lansing Catholic Cougars just got Dave Steamed on the last possible pitch. And now the bases are loaded. Couple timely hits and we got ourselves a ball game. You still got to get this final out. If you're Lansing Catholic, you got to stay locked in on it. A scoring decision earlier in the 7th. Said Sam Leonard reached on error. Not a base hit. And then a double play set up the Cougars with their final out. Back-to-back hit by pitches, and then the base hit by Joe Zubal to break up the no-hitter. And now here comes Joseph Bobita. 2 away, bottom 7, should say. With the bases loaded, his team down by 5. The pitch. Hit to second, fielded, the throw to first, and that's going to do it. 1 pitch for Connor Weber is all he needed to goad the final out And Lansing Catholic's going to win this one 6-1. They might be disappointed they didn't get the no-hitter, but still an unbelievable performance by Drew Tolfree. 12 strikeouts in 5 innings. Never seen anything like it. And the Lansing Catholic Cougars are moving on to the quarterfinals. And we will have that game, as well as every game of the Capital Diamond Classic, right here on openendedmedia.com. Lansing Catholic versus Williamson at 7, but before that, Okemos will take on Holt at 5 on Thursday. But even before then, tomorrow night, the doubleheader, Mason-Portland at 5, Portland-St. Patrick, and Grand Ledge at 7. That doubleheader also live right here on openendedmedia.com. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. Thank you so much to our wonderful sponsors, the Lansing Herald and the Robert Dowden Group at Keller Williams Realty. For all of us at Open Ended Media, I'm Colton Wesley. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow night at the Dean Shippey Capital Diamond Classic.